Kendrick Lamar, K. Dot, Kung Fu Kenny, Mr. Morale, whatever you want to call him, one thing he definitely is one of the greatest rappers of all time. He is personally my favorite rapper, and he is my rap GOAT. Yeah, I said it, he's the greatest rapper of all time. Fight me. I truly started listening to Kendrick in my senior year of high school when Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers came out, but one of my friends recommended that I should listen to all of his albums after I finished with it. Shout out to my boy Caleb. I'm the type of rap fan that values storytelling, lyricism, and the overall topic of songs more than how it sounds, so Kendrick instantly stuck out to me when I was listening to his music. I was originally going to do a ranking Kendrick albums video, and I still might in the future, but I wanted to challenge myself and figure out how Kendrick songs rank amongst each other. Warning, this list will piss you off. For this list, I'll be basing it off of Kendrick's 6 studio albums, and just because nobody really mentions it in their ranking videos, I'm also going to be including his 2010 mixtape, Overly Dedicated. I will also be including 5 released singles where he's the lead artist, which are the diss tracks that came with the Drake beef, All the Stars, and The Heart Part 5. What will not be included are his very early mixtapes before he made it big, remixes where the original song is already on the album, interludes, features, and unreleased songs which include the Heart series besides the 5th one. But just so you know, Prayer would be in the top 5 if it was being ranked. The Black Panther album also won't be ranked either, as he is not the lead singer on many of the songs and mainly acted as a curator for it. The songs will be ranked in order, but will be placed in tiers consisting of bad, mid, and hardly a song tier, good tier, great tier, amazing tier, perfect tier, and GOAT tier. I got the idea for this video from Nathan Silveria, who makes amazing music ranking videos, so shout out to him. I don't want to talk for too long, so let's just start with dead last.
She checked his phone, Erica, right?
Tammy's song, Her Evils. In my opinion, this is Kendrick's worst released song. The beat alone ruins this song. I try to like it, but I just can't. This is his only bad song in my eyes. It just sounds so wonky and weird, and the flow on it is kind of weird too. Not a fan of this one at all. Chapter 10. I don't have anything to say about this one. It sounds more like an interlude, so I put it in a barely even a song tier because there's no verses and it's just really short.
Hello, well, Kendrick here.
Michael Jordan. This song is so mid. When I first heard it, I hated it and never listened to it again. It took 2 whole years for me to listen to it again, and re-listening to it, it's not that bad, but it's not that good either. The beat is fire though. Untitled 04. Cool little melody, but it's like chapter 10 where it just sounds like an interlude and doesn't have any verses, so I barely count it as a song.
Hello, ma'am.
Blood. This is the opening of Damn, and it's literally just Kendrick telling a story about getting killed by an old woman that he tried to help. It's a very creepy and cool story, but it's hardly a song. But I'd rather listen to this than that 8-bit type beat on Tammy's song.
This what God feel like?
God. It feels wrong to even say because this song is named after our Lord and Savior, but this song is so mid and is universally known as the worst song on Damn. I've tried so hard to like it, but I just don't. The chorus is cool, but that's it. Okay, those are the only songs I consider bad/mid by Kendrick. In the words of Nathan Silveria, look at the timestamp. Every song from this point on, I consider good and listen to it on the regular.
Where she's from, no idea.
Alien Girl, Today With Her. This song is good, but it was low-key almost in the mid tier. I don't really listen to this one that much, and I used to like it way more, but it's still a good song. I just don't listen to it like I used to.
I used to have a 9 to 5 for shot.
PMP 1.5. I legitimately didn't start liking this song until this year. I listened to it once back in 2022 and never listened to it again, but now I actually like it. The only problem is the first half is way better than the second half. Not too big a fan of Absol's verse.
Yeah, baby.
Purple Hearts. Universally known as the worst song on Mr. Morale. I used to like this one way more than I do now. I think at a certain point I even had it as top 3 on Mr. Morale. But as time went on, I just didn't listen to this one that much. I like the beat and the overall message, but it just feels like an unnecessary sequel to We Cry Together.
Push these niggas off me like.
Silent Hill. This song is just good. Don't really have that much to say about it. Kodak's verse is cool. Vibe is cool.
Bitch, I'ma cut you off.
Cut you off to grow closer. You boo-boo, you teed, you turned down, you thirsty. Shut the f. Another song that I didn't start liking until this year. I listened to it once but didn't like nor dislike it back in 2022, so it was just forgettable for me. But I recently re-listened to it and it's pretty good. It's really relatable in the topic of having to cut people off just because they always talk about randomness all the time, or just fake people in general. She Needs Me, remix. Good verses, good beat, good vibe, not that much to say.
I do everyday life music.
Average Joe, a very good song that has a good Kid Mad City feel to it, talking about how he's from the hood, but is just an average Joe because he's not in the gang and doesn't kill people. A cool song that gets somewhat of a preview of what Good Kid, Mad City would be about.
Like the first time I fucked a white bitch.
Worldwide Steppers. This one is a weird one for me. I like the song, I think it's good, but the flow is a bit weird on this one, and the beat is kind of wonky. However, I do think it works, although Kendrick did fumble by not continuing the second beat on the beat switch.
I got 100 on my dad.
Untitled 05. Okay, this is probably the first hot take, but this song is both underrated but overrated at the same time. And I mean overrated in the sense that the fanbase that loves this song places it as a top tier Kendrick song or call it amazing. But to me, it's just good. There's nothing that special about it that makes me call it great. Institutionalized. Unfortunately, the weakest point is To Pimp a Butterfly, but it's still a good song.
What's your life about? Enlighten me.
Absol's outro. I really like Absol's verses on this song, and Kendrick's part at the end hits different considering how his career turned out. The saxophone on the song is also really good too.
The power of Whitney, may she heal us all.
Mother I Sober. I really hate that this song is this low. Realistically, this song isn't a perfect tier, but the only thing that stops this song from being higher is the replay value. It's such a deep and emotional song, and it's one of Kendrick's most vulnerable, but it's so depressing to listen to. The overall story of Kendrick breaking the generational curse by not repeating the same sexual behaviors as his family members is very powerful, and this song embodies the whole point of missing morale.
This is King Kendrick Lamar.
Compton. A cool and upbeat final song off Good Kid, Mad City featuring Dr. Dre, which basically acts as a victory song about how Kendrick finally made it into the game. The worst off of Good Kid, Mad City, but it's still a good song.
Put myself in the rocket ship and I shot for the star.
Untitled 03. This song is just good. Despite its placement, it's one of the few songs on Untitled Unmastered that could have actually made it to Pimp a Butterfly album due to its message.
First person I seen write a rap.
Auntie Diaries. Another one of Kendrick's most vulnerable songs talking about how his aunt transitioned into a man and he was confused as a kid but grew to accept him when he got older. My favorite part of the song is when he connects his hypocrisy to a situation in which he brought up a white fan at a concert and she proceeded to say the N-word in a song and he got mad. Another song that encapsulates the point of missing morale.
Wake up in the morning thinking about money.
Lust. A low-key underrated track about how we as people fall into lustful nature and temptation constantly, but it's viewed as normal. There are better songs on Damn, but I really like this song. The Recipe. This song is so good. It's one of those songs that could be the LA anthem. The sample is so good, and Dre and Kendrick just never miss.
Love a woman and think we can satisfy it between.
Untitled 06. I Can't Explain. This song is just fire. CeeLo Green goes crazy.
Her complexion in the direction I follow.
No Makeup, Her Vice. This is one of Kendrick's most misunderstood songs. Yeah, it does have a poppy feel to it, but the message behind it about women not having to always wear makeup to feel good about themselves is amazing, and I like how the concept continues in a later song off Section 80. Okay, those are songs that I consider to be good. They're mostly enjoyable and re-listenable songs, but not good enough to be considered great. Well, some of them are. Next we have the great tier.
What do you got to offer? Tell me before.
You Ain't Gotta Lie, Mama Said. A great message that low-key a lot of people need to listen to because you truly do not have to lie in order to fit in.
It's go time. I'm rolling dough with a good grind.
Backseat Freestyle. This song is great and low-key relatable. It reminds me of me and my friends when we freestyle in my car every time we hang out.
Blessings I need, but live like I don't need you.
Growing Apart to Get Closer. Janae Aiko kills it on this song. The beat is so chill and is a great way to start off Overly Dedicated.
Hey, I remember syrup sandwich.
Humble. Kendrick's most popular song. Another great and classic song, but it was heavily overplayed in 2017. Another great message put into a radio hit.
Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty.
Loyalty. A W collab with Rihanna. Simple as that.
What love got to do with it when you don't love yourself?
Real. I'm sorry, Caleb. A very underrated song off of Good Kid, Mad City. Chill beat and of course another great message. I love Kendrick's parents' voicemail at the end of the song.
If I didn't ride blade on curve, would you still?
Love. A very chill and laid back track that just hits different.
Loving you is complicated.
You. Whoa, what? You at 66? Are you serious? Trust me, I feel the same way that this song is this low. It should realistically be in the perfect, maybe even goated tier. This might be Kendrick's most vulnerable and personal song that he's ever made. He basically criticizes himself and puts it in a way that is just very creative. But my thing is the replay value. It's in the same boat as Mother I Sober, where it's an amazing song, but it's just so sad and hard to listen to because you can hear the pain in his voice. Placements like this are low-key why I put off doing this video for so long. F Your Ethnicity. This song is so underrated. It definitely fits the narrative of Section 80, but it low-key could have even been on To Pimp a Butterfly. Such a great way to say race does not matter, we are all people.
Cornrow Kenny, he was born with a vision all morning.
Untitled 02. I see jiggles, I see styrofoams. The second verse goes absolutely stupid.
Fuck you, bitch. Nah, fuck you, nigga.
We cry together. Another placement that just upsets me. This song should be in the amazing tier. This is one of the most creative songs I've ever heard in my life. A whole argument between a couple, but put on the beat of a song. It talks about one of the most overlooked topics in the modern world, which are toxic relationships, and this song showcases the reality of them. The sole reason why this song is not higher is because of, say it with me now, the replay value. I have to be in the mood to listen to this song, but trust me when I say this song is amazing.
You ugly as fuck. You are.
N95, the most popular song off of Mr. Morale. I love the message about people hiding behind masks and him relating it to COVID.
That fuck 'em up.
Not like us. And here we have the first Drake diss ranking. Probably the most overplayed song of the 2020s. As overplayed and annoying as it got, you can't deny the impact of this song, and you can't deny that it won him the Drake beef. But like I said in my Kendrick Super Bowl video, this song isn't even top 50 in his discography, as you can see.
The same nigga that killed with you, squill with you.
Poe Man's Dreams, his vice. I don't even smoke, but this song is a song that you can just smoke and vibe to. The beat is heavenly.
Your father's in deep meditation.
Mr. Morale. This is one of Kendrick's most underrated songs. I don't hear anyone talk about it enough.
Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now
King Kunta. Oh boy, another hot take. This song is great and is one of Kendrick's most aggressive songs, but I heard this one so much growing up that a lot of his other songs are just bitter to me. Still a great song nonetheless. Now or Never. Similar to Compton in a way that is a victory song. Mary J. Blige absolutely murders this song. It also has a special place in my heart because it takes me back to playing 2K14 at 9 years old. Thank you, LeBron.
so I promise this nigga I love myself.
The first Kendrick song that I listened to on Spotify. The album version is a bit better than the single version though, even though I grew up with that one. Blow My High, members only. A great tribute to Aaliyah and another Smoke and Vibe song. All of those were great songs. There are songs that are borderline amazing, except for some that are amazing but are just placed into this tier for certain reasons. But these next songs are absolutely amazing, and everything from this point on I consider top tier Kendrick songs.
Just ride to it, cause you never know.
Kush and Corinthians. This song is so underrated. I do not hear people talk about this song enough. It explores so much topics like religion, morality, and worldly vices. Songs like this are why I love Section 80.
The fact it brought me back home.
Mama. An amazing song about how the way his life turned out is what brought him back home, which isn't Compton, but instead Africa, as he took a trip to South Africa during the making of To Pimp a Butterfly. It made him rethink about his life, and it connects well to the poem throughout the album. B, Don't Kill My Vibe. This is just a classic. I don't even have anything to say about this one. These Walls. I vividly remember this song being on the radio everywhere in 2015. And let's just say I had no business talking about These Walls at 10 years old. This song relates to the ending of the Swimming Pool's extended version, as the ending verse has Kendrick talking to the guy that killed his friend's brother, and he gets with his girlfriend and gets in her, walls as revenge while he's locked up for the crime. I'd advise you to skip the intro of this one. Crown. Okay, I know you did not just put Crown in your top 50 Kendrick songs. Yes, I did. This song is generally one of Kendrick's most underrated songs. I don't care how slow it is. I don't care how quote unquote boring it is. This song is amazing. This song has one of my favorite messages in a Kendrick song. You can't please everybody. And it's generally the theme of Kendrick's career because so many people call him overrated and say that he's a fake prophet and all this other nonsense.
Do you love me? Do you trust me?
Die Hard. I thought this was the best song on Mr. Morale when I first heard it, but it's still top 5 on the album. The chorus is so good, Kendrick's verses are great, and it's just an overall feel-good song.
If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room.
Poetic Justice. This is awkward. This is the Kendrick and Drake song, and it's probably the only one we're ever gonna get. Drake kills it on this song though. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? It's probably one of my favorite Kendrick lyrics ever.
Hell raising, well chasing,
Pride. Oh my goodness, how is this fabulous, amazing song at number 47? I know, this song is amazing, and it being this low is criminal. I know. This is why I didn't want to do this video, man. Some of these song rankings just annoy me, but he has so many great songs that connect with me more or that I just like more. I still love this song though.
Hey, hold up.
Hold up. The rapping is crazy on this one. That's it.
New Mercedes with black G-Wagon away from it was all.
United in Grief. This song is what literally made me a true Kendrick fan. I remember listening to this song at 9 p.m. the moment that Mr. Morale dropped, and I was literally bobbing my head the entire song. This song literally explains why he took 5 years off, but people will still sit here and say that he had no reason to take time off. All the stars. I'm biased towards this song. I don't care. The reason why this is at number 44 is because it's the ending song to the first Black Panther movie, and the visuals in the ending credits mixed with the amazing song literally creates the best movie critics I have ever seen. The song itself is just so beautiful. It has one of Kendrick's more simpler verses, but it works so well, and SZA literally makes me flow with her singing. Swimming pools, drank. This is the song that introduced me to Kendrick as an 8-year-old that should not have been talking about drank. This is actually an anti-alcohol song talking about how poisonous alcohol truly is, and the fact that he was able to make a radio hit to get the message across just shows how great Kendrick is. HOC. You guys are probably screaming at your screens wondering how this song is ranked above songs like Pride and King Kunta and You, but this has got to be the most relatable song to my life on this list. This is basically a somewhat anti-smoking anthem about how he doesn't need to smoke in order to write great raps. Literally, the song is so relatable with the "I don't even smoke" chorus because I don't smoke in my life and never have, and I've always been associated with people who do, but sometimes it'll feel weird because it's just not my thing, but everyone seems to do it.
The mastermind until my next album, more power to you.
Untitled 07. This song is a mix of catchy radio type music and just straight up rapping. This song is rated this high because the verse after the beat switch is generally one of the best Kendrick verses on any of his albums. That was the amazing tier. Really great songs, but not exactly the best of the best. However, every single song from this point on is literally perfect. I have nothing bad to say about them, and they are some of his best songs. We have 40 songs left. This is insane.
The cat is out the bag, I am not your
Savior. For a while, this was the best song of Mr. Morale for me, but trust me, it's still top 3. This song shuts down any narratives of Kendrick being the rap savior or the spokesperson for black people or any of those stupid narratives that people constantly talk about. Kendrick finally addresses these narratives and tells us directly that he is not our savior. He's human just like the rest of us. But people will still say that Kendrick acts like Jesus or has a savior complex when this song literally exists.
I'm an Israelite, don't call me black.
Yeah, this song grew on me heavily. I low-key didn't even like this song when I first heard it, but then when I re-listened to it again, I fell in love with it. It's just a chill song to vibe to. I love it.
But it's a difference between black artists and whack artists.
Element. This is probably one of Kendrick's most egotistical songs, but I love it. He basically says that he's the best rapper in the game and that nobody can mess with him. This song aged gracefully considering what we saw during the Drake beef. The music video for this song is flawless as well, and it's probably one of the most visually pleasing music videos ever.
This the hardest shit you heard from LA this far.
Ignorance is bliss. This song is the reason why Kendrick made it into the mainstream. This song is notoriously known for being the song that made Dr. Dre notice Kendrick, and the rest is history.
Hey, bitch, I'm attractive.
Rich Spirit. Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song. I swear, after the Drake beef, so many of these Kendrick lyrics are aging amazingly. This song has so many great lyrics, and is a slow yet upbeat hit. I love this song.
We hate po-po when the killer's dead in the street.
Alright. Arguably Kendrick's most popular song besides Humble. This typically is a song that is given the most credit for encapsulating To Pimp a Butterfly's themes of racism and equality, and it is a song that has probably had the biggest impact towards the Black Lives Matter movement. This song is a timeless classic, and there's legitimately nothing bad about it. The only reason it's at number 35 is because it's a tad bit overplayed.
17 with nothing but pussy stuck on my mental.
Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. If it wasn't for Wesley's theory, this song would be the greatest opening song to a Kendrick album. The storytelling on this song is absolutely amazing, and its story sets up the entire album. The fact that the storytelling in this song is done so well for the first song is crazy considering that this isn't even the best storytelling song on Good Kid, Mad City.
Riding with the boys and girls and
Chapter 6. This is probably top 5 in Kendrick's most underrated songs. I know this song is super high on the list, but this song is perfect. This song literally makes me float. This song is so good that the song that samples it, which is Hey by We Are King, is literally on my playlist because of how much I like Chapter 6. So underrated.
welcome to Vigilante 80s so
Ronald Reagan era. Kendrick basically raps about the crack epidemic during Ronald Reagan's presidency in the 80s. Crazy rapping on this one.
crucifix, tell me you can fix in the diamond.
Untitled 01. Absolutely love this song. Kendrick's rapping on this one is just chef's kiss. But we all know that we had to skip to 119 every time because the intro to this song is literally horrendous. But other than that intro, which is just a skit, literally Kendrick's verse is insane.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk.
Euphoria. And now we have the second diss track ranking. You see how far this one is from Not Like Us? This diss track is one of the best ever. I'm not going to go too much into this one because I broke it down in my Kendrick vs. Drake video, but this track isn't talked about enough due to the success of Not Like Us. Rigor Mortis, Kendrick's rap god as Nathan said. Funny song overall and crazy rapping as always.
But that's the culture, crack a bottle, hard to deal with.
The Hard Part 5. I remember literally listening to this song when it first came out with my mom, and I thought it was just a good song at first, but as time went on, I grew to love it. The music video is amazing, and the final verses gives me chills when you realize that he's speaking as Nipsey.
Red state versus a blue state, which one you governing?
Hood Politics. Boo boo! This song was on repeat during the election.
Fear that love ain't living here no more.
Fear. This 7-minute song of Kendrick rapping as his 7-year-old self, 17-year-old self, and 27-year-old self is literally top tier storytelling. He talks about getting beat by his mom for literally anything as a 7-year-old, being scared of dying as a 17-year-old, and losing everything he's worked for as his 27-year-old self, showcasing 3 different levels of fear. The last couple bars of the third verse is the strongest part of the song, and somewhat feels like the ending of the album, as he starts listing all of the song titles from the damn album within the verse. Overall, top tier Kendrick song. We have reached the top 25 Kendrick songs of all time. All those previous songs I just mentioned were in the perfect tier. Literal perfect 10 out of 10 songs, and could be considered best of the best, but they're somehow better songs. These next songs are in the goated tier. Literally Kendrick's best songs in his discography.
You lied about religious views. You lied about your...
Meet the Grams. You knew it was coming. I don't care what anyone says, this is a top 3 diss track ever. I don't care if he lied about the daughter, he had 3 other verses that killed Drake. And Drake lied too. This track won him the Drake beef. And I don't care what anyone says, this song has replay value. I bump this all the time, even though it sounds like a literal funeral. I will stand by the fact that this song is goated. Money Trees. Y'all are gonna hate the sentence that comes out of my mouth right now, but TikTok put me onto this song. And I don't care what anyone says, TikTok didn't ruin this song. The chorus still hits, Analyze's verse is going in the Hall of Fame, and J-Rock has one of the best feature verses ever. This song is goated. Mad City. A literal classic. I know everyone loves the first verse, but the second verse is equally as good. Yeah, I said it.
Tell me something. You motherfuckers can't tell me nothing.
DNA. The second verse with the beat switch, the Fox News sample, Hall of Fame verse and song. Enough said.
When I get signed, homie, I'm acting fool.
Wesley's Theory. The best opening song to a Kendrick album. This is in a lot of people's top 5, and I completely understand. This song is so fire. Kendrick talking about what he's gonna do when he gets signed, to Uncle Sam trying to get him to indulge in his wealth, to the Wesley Snipes lyric, to just the overall sound of the song makes this undeniably goated. Mirror. Another candidate for top 5 most underrated Kendrick songs. In this song, he discusses the pressure of fame and being placed in a situation where people depend on you, and in this case, it's for his music. But he basically doesn't apologize for not making music for so long, because at the end of the day, he's gonna put himself and his family first. The chorus of I Choose Me, I'm Sorry cuts really deep and is very relatable. Sorry I didn't save the world, my friend, I was too busy building mine again is the literal theme of this album, and it's probably my favorite lyric from the entire album. So if anyone says that this album was mid and that he made us wait 5 years for it, who cares about what you think? Mr. Morale as a whole is goated.
I'ma say something that's vital and critical for somebody.
Complexion of Zulu Love. Another straight underrated song by Kendrick with an amazing message about skin color and how it doesn't define beauty. Rhapsody's verse is so tough as well, and the overall sound is just fire.
Last black boys to fly out of Compton.
Black Boy Fly. Words cannot express how much I love this song. It's the bonus track that connects to the theme of Good Kid, Mad City the most, and literally everything about it is just fantastic. I don't even know what to say about it because it's just that good.
Away from Ludus Park, I seen the El Camino Park.
Keisha's song, Her Pain. I'm mad that this song isn't talked about enough. This is this generation's version of Brenda's Got a Baby, and it tells the sad story of prostitution and how dangerous it is for women. Kendrick actually wrote this song for his sister just for that reason. The storytelling is just out of this world on this song. It does not get enough love.
Have you ever felt like you never get life?
Barbed Wire. Songs like this from Overly Dedicated are the reason why I wanted to put it in the ranking, because some of those songs are legitimately not talked about and are some of Kendrick's greatest songs. The rapping on this song is amazing and it's just so upbeat. This song should have blew up. I don't care how small he was at the time.
Section 80, High Power.
High Power. The ending track off Section 80 and it's just mwah, perfecto. There's so many amazing lyrics on this song. A perfect mix of racial and governmental issues. J. Cole did his thing on the beat as well.
Cause everything he didn't want was everything I was.
Father Time. How can people hate this album when songs like this are on it? This song touches on one of the most overlooked topics in toxic masculinity and daddy issues within men rather than women. Kendrick talks about his issues with his father growing up and how it shaped him into the man that he became. I seriously feel like this is probably the most relatable song that Kendrick has ever made because so many men can relate to it. I personally can't, but I can still appreciate it for his message and his vulnerability.
Yesterday I got a call like from my dog like 101.
XXX. The first verse of this song is probably the most hyped Kendrick verse ever. I love the police sirens and the crazy danger type beat, and Kendrick is just talking his stuff. Then when the beat slows down for the second verse, YouTube's feature is so heavenly with Kendrick's rapping coming in and switching gears, which just makes for a complete and underrated track.
I'm African American. I'm African.
The Blacker the Berry. This is Kendrick's most aggressive song by far, and it's another candidate for Kendrick's best song for many fans. If someone told me that this was Kendrick's best song, I would not be mad. While Alright is great, this song embodies To Pimp a Butterfly as a whole and is one of the realest songs ever. Aggressive Kendrick is one of the greatest versions of a rapper because when he talks, he talks. Take this song in DNA as an example.
I love when you count me out. I love.
Count Me Out. The best song off of Mr. Morale. Do I really need to explain why this song is here? Okay, if this whole list didn't make you mad, which it probably did, this list will guarantee piss you off because these are the top 10 greatest songs by Kendrick ever. While 11 through 25 were perfect 10 out of 10 goated flawless songs, these songs are 15 out of 10s. These songs are some of the best songs in history. Fight me. Starting with number 10.
We made a right, they made a left, they made a right.
The Art of Peer Pressure. The Storytelling. This song is one of the most intriguing storytelling songs ever. This is probably the song that defines Good Kid, Mad City the most. Kendrick and his homies basically smoke, drink, and commit acts of violence throughout the day, but he knows that he never does any of these things in his normal life, and is literally only doing it because he's with his friends. Even though Kendrick isn't in a gang, he hangs around gang members, and their behavior reflects onto him because he doesn't want to look lame in front of them. This song is also very relatable as well, as we've all been through situations where we have done stupid things for the sake of fitting in with our friends. The climax of this song where he and his friends rob a house and almost get caught is my favorite part of the whole song, and it truly embodies the theme and story of this album. Untitled 08. If there's any song that should have been on To Pimp a Butterfly, it's this one. This is an upbeat song with a deep message about how black Americans constantly feel the need to get money and complain about not having it, but the third verse puts us in the perspective of a South African who criticizes Kendrick and other black Americans for complaining about first world problems, while Africans typically have to deal with third world problems of just struggling to survive, despite some black Americans not having the best upbringing. This song really should have been on To Pimp a Butterfly, man.
I feel heartless often, off this feeling of falling.
Feel. Okay, this is probably the hottest take on the entire list. Most people have this song much lower on their list, and it doesn't even crack the top 35. But this is a top 10 Kendrick song, and I am not afraid to say it. The relatability of this song makes me absolutely love it. He basically talks about a bunch of different feelings in his mind and how he feels now that he is famous and successful. And while I'm not famous, obviously, this song has many lines that I could just relate to as a human being. I feel that friends been overrated, I feel like the family been faking, is easily in the top 3 of my favorite Kendrick lyrics ever because it's so real. I also love the way this song sounds sonically as well. The beat is very chill and kind of sad, and it really just shows the mood of how Kendrick is feeling.
Look at me, she got ADHD.
ADHD. This was a song that truly put Kendrick in the eyes of the rap game. This song is placed here simply because of how it sounds sonically. This has the best beat of any Kendrick song. This is the Late Night Drive song. This is the best song off Section 80. I just love everything about it. Even the message is deep, talking about the crack epidemic of the 80s, and even though songs like Alright and Swimming Pools and Humble are his most popular songs, this song is his most timeless classic because it was actually his first to gain national attention.
One day you respect the Good Kid, Mad City.
Good Kid. And here we have Kendrick's most underrated song. Yes, this song is better than Mad City. Pharrell kills it on the hook, and Kendrick's rapping on all 3 verses is so fire. This song is supposed to be directly after Kendrick gets jumped in Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter, and he spends both verses talking about how although he is a good kid, he's stuck in a mad city and having to worry about the gang life in Compton and possibly being misidentified as somebody else and getting hurt because of it. And also having to worry about the police profiling him and mistaking him for being in a gang just because of what he's wearing and how he looks. I might have lied when I said that The Art of Peer Pressure embodies Good Kid, Mad City the most, because Kendrick literally says the album title at the end of all 3 verses, and this song just shows how trapped he was in the gang culture growing up. Fun fact, this is one of the few songs where Kendrick doesn't say a single cuss word. Opposites attract. Tomorrow Without Her. Okay, I lied. This is his most underrated song. This singular song is the reason why I wanted to include Overly Dedicated in the ranking. The song was literally ahead of its time. The best way to put it is that it was We Cry Together before We Cry Together. This is another song about toxic relationships, but it's put in the perspective of the man doing the woman wrong. Kendrick has two verses, one as the man and one as the woman. As the man, he basically asks, why are you so good to me and not like these other girls? And because of that, he constantly cheats on the girl because she's too nice to him and isn't what he's used to. And as the woman, he asks, why do you treat me so bad and not trust me? He even goes as far to say that the man hits the woman sometimes, but she still stays because she loves him that much. I can literally keep going on and on about this song. This song is a top 5 Kendrick song for me because it's literally the epitome of what happens in many relationships in this generation, and it is a great example of what I call the cycle. Hurt man hurts good woman. Experience makes good woman turn into hurt woman. Hurt woman hurts good man. Experience makes good man turn into hurt man. And the cycle continues.
Message!
That is really prevalent with my generation, and that's why this song is so high on this list. Plus the chorus, we hurt people that love us, love people that hurt us, is one of the realest things I've ever heard in my life.
Life is one funny motherfucker. A true comedian.
Duckworth. The storytelling. I shouldn't have to explain why this song is so good, but I'll do it anyway. The story Kendrick tells is literally top tier, and you don't see it coming at all. He talks about a guy named Ducky. He moves to California with his wife and works a dead-end job at KFC, but he hears about a guy named Anthony who was notorious for robbing the manager of the KFC and shooting a customer. Anthony planned to rob that KFC in the near future, and Ducky would give him extra food to get on his good side for when the robbery eventually did happen. Anthony liked Ducky and let him slide. Fast forward years later, Ducky and Anthony meet again because Anthony, now known as Top Dog, signed a young rapper to his label. Who was that rapper? Kendrick Lamar. But what does that have to do with him? Well, Ducky? Yeah, he's Kendrick's father. The theme of this song is the butterfly effect. The climax of this song is so well executed to reveal the twist when Kendrick says, if Anthony killed Ducky, Top Dog could be serving life while I grew up without a father and die in a gunfight. And a gunshot ends the entire album. So not only would have Kendrick not had a father, he would not have gotten signed and blew up because Top Dog would be in prison, leading Kendrick to probably die in the gang life, as Kendrick said that his father was the only reason why he never joined the gang. One of the best storytelling songs ever. Absolute cinema. How much a dollar costs? Wait, did I say that Duckworth was one of the best storytelling songs ever? I meant how much a dollar costs. This song has one of the greatest messages of any song ever. He basically tells a story of himself being at a gas station, and there's a homeless man that starts talking to him that is begging him for a singular dollar. But he refuses to give it to the man because he automatically assumes that he's going to use it to buy drugs. Even when Kendrick tells him no and gets back in the car, the man keeps asking for the dollar and even brings up Bible verses to make him understand why he should help him. The final verse shows Kendrick still refusing and being more and more selfish and giving excuses as to why he won't help. The final twist is that the man was God in disguise the whole time, and he tells him that he's lost a spot in heaven because of his selfishness. This is one of those songs that really needs a music video, but at the same time he tells the story so well that it makes you paint the picture in your head. The chorus along with the verses makes this legitimately the best storytelling rap song of all time.
Promise that you will sing about me.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. Hold on, did I say that How Much a Dollar Costs is the best storytelling rap song ever? My bad, I meant Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. Despite the placement at number 2, this song is in contention for the best rap song of all time. Most people have this song in their top 5 Kendrick songs, most of the time being number 1, and it's well deserved. This 12-minute song has one of the most creative and unique formats of a song ever. It's basically 2 songs in one. The first part, Sing About Me, has 3 verses. The first verse ties directly to Good Kid, Mad City, as Kendrick talks in the perspective of one of his friends who is the brother of Dave, one of Kendrick's friends who was shot and killed at the end of the Swimming Pool's extended version. He is a gang member and he explains how the gang life has been within him forever and he's gonna keep living it, and he reflects on his brother's death along with the life that he had before entering a gang. He hopes that Kendrick tells his story. At the end of the verse, while he's in the middle of talking, he's cut off by gunshots, symbolizing that he got killed before Kendrick's album dropped. In the second verse, he talks in the perspective of Keisha's sister, which ties directly into the song I placed at number 17, Keisha's song. Her sister basically scolds Kendrick for telling Keisha's story, which ended up with her dead at the end of the song, and now she's in the same footsteps of her sister with prostitution, and explains how she's upset of the image her sister now has because of the song. The final verse has Kendrick talking as himself, reflecting on his career and hoping that somebody will sing about him when he's gone. The second part, Dying of Thirst, is Kendrick talking about his life and how his environment is affecting him, and he doesn't like the sins that he's committed because of it, so he seeks baptism to start over. This song is so equally balanced and is a perfect example of why Kendrick is my favorite rapper and is my GOAT. There's so much to be said about this song as you guys heard me explain, but I didn't even scrape the cusp of what could be said about this song. This is the best storytelling rap song of all time. But what could possibly be better than that? You just spent all that time talking about that one singular song. How is it not number one? Well, let me tell you, my number one Kendrick song of all time, the best song he's ever made, is... I'm just kidding. It's...
Shit hit the fan, issue still a fan.
Mortal Man. This is Kendrick's best song. I'll forever stand by that. The day that Kendrick retires and stops making music, I will still say that Mortal Man is his best song. Not only is this his best song, but it's one of the best outro songs of any album ever. As a closing song of To Pimp a Butterfly, this once again 12-minute track has Kendrick speaking to the rap game as a whole. He starts asking the fans if they will believe in him enough to stick with him no matter what. Would they switch up after the smallest occurrence? He does this with the first verse, but within the whole song, he repeats, "When hits the fan, is you still a fan?" Basically constantly asking if his fans will stick by him. He constantly brings up Nelson Mandela in the song, as he was in prison for 27 years, but became the first democratically elected president in South Africa because of what he stood for. His supporters stuck with him through it all, and Kendrick asks if his fans will do the same with him. While Mandela advocated for racial equality, Kendrick advocates for similar topics in his music, hence the whole To Pimp a Butterfly album. The third verse is probably my favorite Kendrick verse ever, as he talks about his perspective of being placed in a position by the rap game as the next big thing. He talks about how it's hard for him to trust everything around him now that he is famous and successful, and he constantly has to question everything. He ends off the verse by bringing up several leaders that were put in the position of leadership but were left for dead and are now known for the things that they've done bad or the things that they were accused of that plagued their reputation while they were alive. He brings up people like MLK, JFK, Malcolm X, and the most relatable for him, Michael Jackson, as they were once held with high regard, but people turned on them once they were plagued with accusations or they did something wrong in the slightest. After the verses, Kendrick finally finishes the poem that has been being teased throughout the whole To Pimp a Butterfly album, and it turns out the whole time he was reading the poem to Tupac. In the next 5.5 minutes, Kendrick interviews Tupac, and he did this by getting access to a rare interview from 1994 and cutting and chopping it and making it seem like they were having an actual conversation. This part of the song is the exact reason why this is my favorite Kendrick song and why I think it's his best. I have never seen this type of creativity from any rapper. Kendrick's music is literally art, and things like this show that he raps not for the money or the fame, but instead for the love of the game, bars, and the artistry of hip hop as a whole. Well, that was the ranking. I can't believe I just ranked almost 100 songs. This is one of the hardest videos I've ever had to do, both with the editing and just making this list, because even while I was making it, some of these placements literally hurt to read out because Kendrick has so many amazing songs. This list is obviously subjective, and I know this whole list pissed all you off, so let me know what my hottest take was in this video, and let me know what you think Kendrick's best song is. I'll definitely make more videos like this, as I have a lot of music artists and movies and TV shows that I love, and rankings are very interesting since everyone has different opinions. But if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.